in class the other day, someone who he doesn't know who I am, doesn't who I am, he did a presentation
No.
on my dad and the Orlando Magic. And I was just sitting there like, what?
He
What?
didn't know who you were?
No.
Hello and welcome back to Do I Know You, which is the only talk show in the entire world which brings together siblings and children of celebrities so they can share their stories and really reveal who they are at their core. I'm your host, Jordy Ray, and I started this show because my brother's a celebrity athlete, so I'm all too familiar with trying to carve out your own individual path while the projections of other people are coming onto you. And so I really needed a community, and that's what birthed this platform. However, what I will say is it does not matter if you're watching and you're a celebrity child, celebrity sibling, celebrity parent, or you feel like, oh, I'm not any of those, I don't fit in. No, you do, because what this show is really about at its core is figuring out who are we and how do we see ourselves. So no matter who you know, who you don't know, what your job is, who you're dating, none of that matters when you're here. What I really want to get to the heart of is how do you see yourself and how do you know and understand that God sees you? Because that, child, that's what has grounded me. Today we have an absolutely incredible guest joining us, my good sis, Layla McGrady. So Layla is the daughter of NBA legend Tracy McGrady, who's a 7-time All-Star with a very illustrious and impressive basketball career. But you can go and find interviews of him. Today I really want to focus on Layla. Layla is so much more than just Tracy McGrady's daughter. She's a college student at the University of Miami, and she has a real passion for making sure that people feel seen, which is why I feel like we get along so well. And so she's really on the journey of making a name for herself, exploring who she is and figuring out how she can serve others, you know, in that element. And so I can't wait to dive deep into Layla's world and have you fall in love with her just as much as I have, and just really explore the legacy that she's crafting. So enough from me. Please welcome my good sis, Layla McGrady. Layla, welcome to Do I Know You?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to get started.
It is my honor. So, y'all, we have to shout out Andrea, who is a good friend of mine who connected us, who Layla also knows. And she was like, do you know Layla McGrady? I'm like, why would I how would we have met? And she connected us and we did like one call and we were talking as if we were besties for years. Like
Literally.
I was like
Like,
my
I
soul
don't
sister
even.
question mark.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm so excited for the banter. Layla, how are you? How are you showing up today? Tell me.
I'm so good. I am beyond blessed. I woke up today, no class, so it's already an amazing day. Any
Period.
day without class is an amazing day. So I
Period.
I'm on top of the world right now. And then I'm on this podcast. So it's just like
Oh, you're so sweet.
today's just been great so far. And I woke up 2 hours ago. Like
Period. Me, girl. Me waking up an hour ago. Well, I'm so happy to have you on. I love what you stand for. I love your passion for life and your love for people. And I feel like we're going to have such a great convo. So I want to jump right in. Your dad is Tracy McGrady, basketball legend. Love him. Love you, though. I'm curious, what were some like early moments in your life where you realized your family's name like meant a lot in the sports world?
honestly, I don't think there was a one like point
Mm.
in time where I was like, oh shoot, like my dad is who he is, just because like I was literally like born in my
Into it.
dad's prime. I was born in Orlando. And so like when he was playing for the Magic. And so for my first birthday party, we had like stuff, the Magic mascot. He was there. Like all these like basketball players were there. So it was just like it was very normal for me. And then when we moved to Houston, I had Clutch, like the Houston mascot, and some other mascots. Like the mascots were just like at my birthday parties. So like there was never really a time where
Mm.
I was, oh shoot, my dad is who he is, because it's just like
It's
I
what
was
it
born
is.
into it. So yeah, yeah.
And I think that's a really hard thing sometimes for people to grasp, who aren't born into a situation like this. I think it's so interesting for people whenever I'm like, oh yeah, I don't see my brother as like famous, like, and they like proceed to, and I'm sure this you relate, but they'll like proceed to like roll off his stats to me and his accomplishments, and I'm like, all that is true, and I still don't like when it's family, it's like something that's it's not like a big thing, right?
Yeah. Like it's when people talk about my dad's stats or how he did this or the 13 points in 35 seconds or whatever, it's just like
Nice.
great. But it's just like I'm always going to be my dad's biggest fan, but I'm like not a fan like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's kind of weird. It's like really weird. And then I will say, in class the other day, someone who he doesn't know who I am, doesn't who I am, he did a presentation
No.
on my dad and the Orlando Magic. And I was just sitting there like, what?
He
What?
didn't know who you were?
No, because like I when I tell you like people don't know who I am
Me,
until I
Hannah
give
Montana.
them like my last name or like tell them or they put two and two together. But it was just I was just sitting there like this is
What?
so interesting. Like, and then he was giving his opinions on who's better, my dad or this person or my dad. I was just like
Okay,
I had to
King.
back my tongue because I was like, watch yourself. Like,
Watch yourself, because that's my dad you're talking about. Wait,
yeah.
okay, that's hilarious. I assume you didn't reveal it to him after. You just moved in silence and
Oh
continued
no,
your
after
day.
class was over, I left. Like I was just like, but it's so funny because like I have to give the presentation soon, and so when I say my last name, I'm sure he's gonna put two and two
Put two
together.
and two together, of course.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
are some people watching right now I know who are like, why wouldn't she just tell him? Like, why wouldn't she like let him know? I feel like I know the answer, but why wouldn't you? What does it bring to your life when you share?
Like for first of all, I just like to be like low key, and it's like I don't like that type of attention on me. And then it's just like, what do I gain from that? Like
Hmm.
it's just like, you want a cookie? Do you want? It's just like I don't know. It's just not comfortable, not even comfortable. It's just not me
Yeah.
to go and be like, oh my gosh, my dad's Tracy McGrady, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay,
And now what?
and
What do
now
we
what?
do with that?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Unless
Yeah.
like obviously I could have gone up to him and be like, oh my gosh, are you from Orlando? Like I'm from Orlando too, blah, blah, blah. But it's just like
But why?
sometimes I just think it's not necessary.
I completely agree. I'm the same way. I say this every episode, but I feel like I live the most Hannah Montana life, and it
I
seems
say
like
the same thing. I say the same thing. Oh,
really.
Hannah Montana was my girl. I literally thought the show was about me. Like I had the blonde wig. I had the Hannah Montana Barbie. Like I had the guitar. Like that was my girl.
Wait.
Yes,
Oh my gosh, I should have introduced you as Miley McGrady. I don't know why I called you
I
Layla.
love it. Right? Right.
No, she's that girl. How she lived a split life. It's like it's interesting. It's not like splitting who you are, but it is like it's the reality is you're holding back, parts of your family and things like that in a certain context. How have you like grown up? I think it's like a level of discernment, right? Like there's some situations where you just know you walk in a room and you're like, I pray no one's seen my Instagram, or like I pray no one has come here. How have you like fine-tuned that level of discernment?
Um, Honestly, I feel like whenever I do walk in a room, people aren't gonna know, like they're not gonna know who I am unless I am with my dad. Uh,
Mm.
yeah. So it hasn't been a problem for me really.
Hmm.
I will say if I meet someone with my dad and then I see them another time and my dad's not there, I'll go up to them, introduce myself or like reintroduce myself, and it's just like, oh, who are you? It's like, oh wait,
Interesting.
met. Respect. Yeah. So
Really?
yeah,
Like you
so
can
I've
notice
noticed.
that.
Yeah, so I've noticed
Mm.
actually that I tend to, whenever it comes to people who I kind of re-meet, I kind of say, wait, do you remember me? Like, do you know who I am? Like, we met, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's been a thing that I've noticed within myself that I kind of ask, like, do you remember
Mm.
me? Because of just past situations.
Of
So,
course. Of
yeah.
course. That's really interesting. It's this sense of being seen, and that's really why I started the show was I felt like growing up to no one in my family's fault at all. And I had amazing friends. But in all these other contexts, like what you're talking about, I just felt so small and
Yeah.
so unseen. And like you and I have big personalities. We're, awesome people. And I was like, why am I feeling like I have to shrink myself? Or like, if it's around finals time, I know you've dealt with this. Like if it's around finals time, I'm like, do I have to like slip it into conversation to feel like bigger? And it's just like, it's this war within your own mind because it feels like you're almost betraying yourself, but then also you feel like you have to do it.
Yeah. 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 It's just so hard. It's just so hard juggling um being like Layla and then being like Tracy McGrady's daughter and
Mm.
when to say what, with who. It's just like, I don't know, it's a lot. So
Yeah.
I'm just so glad you're doing this podcast because I feel like a lot of NBA kids don't really um have
Mm.
had the platform to really like speak their truth or really give examples of what like life has been like. So yeah.
I adore you. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you. I guess one question that comes to mind is like, you say it is so hard, and I agree with you. How have you like found your way over the years? Like, is it community? Is it passions? Like, what has it been for you?
Really, it's been my family and friends. I
Mm,
will say I'm a private person.
yeah.
So when it comes to my friends, I really hold my like three friends like near
Mm,
and dear to my heart. I mean, obviously I'll speak to whoever. I'm
yeah.
very friendly, but it's like it really comes down to like the people who I'm really closest with. And also my dad's old teammates like kids because
Interesting.
they're considered like my cousins, like my dad's teammates are my uncles, their wives are my aunts, like it's like family. So
Mm,
community is has really been keeping me going, like the people who
mm.
I've known since I was born.
I
um
love that.
so
I love that. That's beautiful. And I'm assuming that the reason community has lifted you up is just because you don't have to explain yourself, right? Like they know what it
they
is.
automatically get it.
Exactly. The girls
And
that get it.
no, seriously, seriously. And then like even some of my friends in college, like they'll ask me questions and like it's just about like life as an NBA kid. And it's like when
Mm,
I try to explain, it doesn't, they don't understand
yeah.
like how I need them to understand, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Or
feel
just
the
like,
same.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think it's so beautiful to have friends in all environments. And like, I'm sure you adore your friends who haven't had that experience. And what's still true is there's a piece of you that's like, it's still hard to explain myself. I feel like there's a lot of this is really good. I feel like there's a lot of maybe misconceptions or misunderstandings of what it looks like to be the child or sibling of someone in the public eye. For example, I had someone come on here and they were like, everybody thinks I'm rich and I work like a dog and I'm like barely scraping by. And like just because my family's famous and has money does not mean that I have money. Do you have any like misconceptions or stereotypes about your life that kind of come to mind?
I will tell you this one story about a girl who I was friends with my first few years of college. I'd say like my first like 2 to 3 semesters. And by this point, we're what, a year and a half in. So she knows me, right? Like
Right.
she knows I'm a very humble person, honestly. I don't go around like flashing what I have, who I am,
Yeah.
whatever. So we have a mutual friend who lives in Atlanta.
Mm,
And so, and she invited all of us to Atlanta in July for her birthday, but I couldn't go because I was doing some work with Summer League, NBA Summer League. And so this other friend, we'll call her Amanda.
period.
So Amanda went up to the birthday girl and was like, "Oh yeah, like I knew she wasn't gonna come. Like your house is too small. Like Layla does not like small houses. Like I've been to her house. It's so big, blah blah blah. She would never step foot." Yeah. I was like, "Oh my gosh." And then the birthday girl told me, in addition to what she said, she placed a bet to see if I would go or not.
Oh, are you
A bet.
serious?
Mind you, this is supposed to be my Amanda. I thought we were
Yeah,
cool.
what?
Like, yeah. So,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
So,
Amanda's
yeah.
giving frenemy.
Right, exactly. So there was that.
Oh.
And then at the same in the same time, when I was at Summer League, I posted a picture with my god brother, and it was his rookie year. And so obviously he's going to be playing in Summer League. And I was like, oh my gosh, long time no see because I haven't seen him in years. And then she shows like the group in Atlanta and was talking about some, not her trying to get clout off of someone
Oh,
she doesn't know. Baby, I grew up with him since I was like literally 1 years old. What do you mean? What do you mean? So,
wait, what?
yeah.
This is
So,
so scary.
so those are, yeah. So those are the only two
Mm,
instances that I know of. I'm sure
yeah.
there's more, honestly, because like this happened, what, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. But
Yeah. I'm so sorry, but also I'm like so grateful when God sheds light on those situations because it's like you would have never known that, you know?
mhm,
It's
mhm.
horrible.
it, but it's like at the same time, I just like it's like disappointing, but I'm not surprised.
Mm,
Just like it is what it is. I say that some friends are just seasonal and lessons to
yes.
be learned. So it's just like, I hold nothing against her. Like, obviously, she made this mistake. Like, I think it would benefit me if, like, she wasn't in my life, but, like,
Mm.
still
Like no,
great.
right, no
Sure.
grudges, wish you
No,
well.
no bad blood. Yeah.
Yeah. Completely agree. I'm like listening to you and you sound so wise beyond your years too. And I'm curious,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of that has had to do with your experiences, but also how you were raised. Tell me
Mhm.
a little bit about how, like, your family upbringing and the
Oh my
values that your
goodness.
family had.
Oh my goodness. Not to like get my parents' head big, but like they they're honestly just the best in the way that we were raised. Never ever were they like just like flashy in front of us. I
Mm,
didn't even know like my parents, I didn't know like their wealth until
mm,
like obviously I got older. Like when it came to things that we wanted or things that we begged my parents for, it wasn't just like, okay, yeah, here. Like it was like you either work for it or this or that. So it was just like nothing was ever handed to us. And obviously, like we were spoiled,
right.
but it was just like my parents definitely instilled in us that being humble, working hard, like in life, nothing will be handed to you. So we're not going to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Um, so I'm very, very, very grateful for my parents for that.
Mm,
Especially like living in Miami and seeing how like the overall culture is here. It's just
mm,
like wow. I like not to like judge anyone, but I just like wow, I'm so thankful that my parents raised me the way that they did because it's like I
mm.
could have been acting like these people and this is not a good look. This is like it's just I'm just
Yeah.
glad I was brought up the way I was. So,
I love that. And that's beautiful. I'm curious. I'm like, I visited Miami a few times, but I'm curious what you mean by the culture. Like, is it flashy, over the
oh my God.
top, like
Oh
brands
my,
on brands on brands?
very extremely flashy. Um, there's a lack of genuine people.
Mm,
It's all about status. It's all about I want to be your friend because of what you can get me,
mm,
of what I can like. Yeah, it's just all about status
yep.
and who you are. And I don't want to be friends with you for you. I want to be friends with you for what you have. And then take what you have, ditch you, and then like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Bye.
yeah, so
Literally.
literally. So it's just like that just does not fit with who I am. And that's why I'm so thankful for the friends that I have here because
Hmm.
it's just like if I didn't have these people, I genuinely don't think I'd still be living in Miami.
Oh,
Um,
wow. That's a huge
yeah.
statement.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Wow.
it's like they're the ones who really understand me, who keep me grounded, who really like check me.
Mm,
They're not just yes friends. They're like, Layla, come on, girl. Like they'll give me the real. So it's just like, and that's so important, giving you the real in a city that's so fake.
mm,
I say this with my best friend a lot. Like we were raised in like just such a unique way.
Mm.
It was like the perfect balance of like um being spoiled, but also like staying humble.
Mm.
So I honestly look back and I think I would not change anything. I look back and I'm like, I'm so glad I'm not like those people who are um flashy. And it's
Over
just
the
like
top.
over the top. It's just
Yeah. It's not for you.
not
I love
all
that.
about that.
Yes, I love that. Well, that's amazing. I love that you had that experience and just felt it almost seems like your family and your friends have really like, grounded you and rooted you,
Oh,
which
for
is
sure.
huge. So I know that you're a college baddie. We've been talking about this. Tell the world, what are you passionate about? What gets you energized? What gets you excited? What are you
Yeah.
studying? All of that.
Yeah. So I'm studying journalism and minoring in sport administration and entrepreneurship. Um, and the entrepreneurship kind of stems from my background, really,
Mm,
creating a voice for my own. Because oftentimes I feel like I can be in my dad's shadow a lot. And because of that, that's just really inspired what I want to do with a career. And like my main thing is just giving people a voice and a platform to really speak on who they truly are without kind of like what you're doing, without like being in someone else's shadow, without being like, oh, this, I'm Layla, this person's family member. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be Layla McGrady, period.
period.
Like,
End
no, like
sentence.
nothing else to follow, like nothing else to follow. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's kind of where the journalism comes into with like, interviewing. And I really want to go into like sports media. So not
Mm,
exactly sure what I want to do, but when it comes to giving people a voice
mm,
and getting to really know the real person
mm.
that truly inspires me.
I
Um,
love that.
yeah.
And you have such a warm and like welcoming presence about you that I feel like that really will help people drop their guard. And so I'm so excited to see what you do. And we're locked in for life now. So I'm going to support however I
Oh,
can.
thank you.
Of course, of course. I know I have to ask you this. I know you're a Jesus girly. So tell me about your faith, what that means to you.
Oh my gosh, it means everything. Truly, I think that if I didn't have like Jesus in my life, I wouldn't be the person who I am today. Even with my parents, I truly don't think I would be.
Mm,
Um, and I think that like obviously Jesus, he can do anything that he wants to do, but I
mhm,
think that he put me on this earth and he put me in this position and blessed me so that I can bless others. And so I feel like I would be doing myself and others a disservice if I wasn't following him because obviously um, there's a purpose in my life and
mhm,
that purpose is to share like God's light. And so I think that by continuing to walk in my faith and like acting on it and not just saying I believe in Jesus and he died on the cross for me, but truly like acting on it, I think that it would just benefit me and everyone else and bring
mhm.
others closer to God. So I'm really just trying to walk in that path that He has for me and be
Bishop
obedient.
Layla, Preacher Layla,
Stop! No, no,
Reverend
no, no, no,
Layla.
no. No, 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 no.
So good. So good. And it's so true, right? Like, I completely agree with everything you said. When you talk about walking it out and not just
Mhm.
like being about it, I guess.
Mhm.
What does that look like to you? What does that mean to you? For someone who's maybe not as familiar with Jesus, like what does that mean?
I feel like it's all about um being as much like Christ as you can.
Mm,
Obviously, everyone's a sinner. Obviously, like no one is perfect, but it's
no.
just really about genuinely striving
Mm,
to be like Jesus. And so I think that obviously like I fall short at times, but just trying to be an example to others, saying, "Hey, I'm human, but look, I'm
mm,
trying as well."
yeah.
I think that's that's the main thing. Because it's like if I'm telling people like follow God, follow God, follow God, he loves you, blah, 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 but then I'm living a completely different life. It's just like, why would they even want to, you know? So it's all
Yeah.
about like discipleship, you know, and like showing people as a human, like what that looks like to follow God. So,
You're spitting right now. I feel like I'm so grateful that Jesus took the pressure off of us to be perfect. He knew we wouldn't be, but he didn't even like try to sugarcoat it. Like he was like, "Yeah, you will fall," or like in the New Testament, it's like we all fall short of the glory of God. Like I'm so grateful that that's the standard, but we're called to aim for higher. And I think that's beautiful. How has it been? Have you always grown up, with this conviction? Like how has it been in a place like Miami, like you said, where things might be a little opposite of that?
yeah, I think that the main thing, like I said, is my friends who really, because they're Jesus followers too, so we kind of hold
Mm,
each other accountable. And like oftentimes, like I mean, not often, but like we can like fall short and
yeah.
slip into temptation, obviously. But it's all about like reeling yourself back in, asking Jesus for forgiveness. Like I'm
Yes.
so sorry. Like I like and acknowledging what you did. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Mm,
I know I did this, like I'm really trying, blah, 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 blah.
mm,
So I think that like holding yourself accountable, and just having a tribe really who understands you, who really wants the best for you, and also having people who want you to like continue your walk with Christ is
mm.
really important. So that's what's really like held me down in Miami, especially.
That's so
It's
good.
literally all about community. Oh my goodness. Because like you are who you surround yourself by. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
So it's just like that's what I'd say. That's what I'm saying by community and friends have really held me down in Miami.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I mean, isolation, it's good, it's purposeful in some seasons, but
mhm.
like to live in that constantly is just it's just a lie from the enemy that like we have to do that. I completely agree with you. And I was just talking about with some friends the other day, like when I look around at my friends, I'm like, y'all are baddies, y'all are successful, y'all love Jesus down. Like, and that to me is like one, I feel so blessed, but also it's like a reflection of you, right? Because to your point, you are who you surround yourself with. And so if I'm around people who I want to be like, I'm like, okay, Lord, like we must be on the right
Right.
track.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
So
exactly. I love that. Well, I'm so happy for you. Something I really want to do, side note, is I want to do like a Bible study with some like Do I Know You guys. I just feel like it would be so
oh,
cool to study the word from this perspective. So I might hit you up to help me
please do.
coordinate. I
Please.
will.
We have to do that. We actually have to do that.
No,
That looks
like
it's
I'm so down. Also, I haven't shared this on the show yet, but something that God has put on my heart is okay, this is gonna be a quick rant, but I like really I'm just always thinking about like, coming out the shadow, all this stuff. And I realized I didn't realize the Holy Spirit basically told
Mhm.
me that there's so many examples of people like us in the Bible. Like I think about like James, Jesus's own brother. I cannot imagine having my brother be the savior of the world. And then
Yeah.
he's saying stuff like submit to me and follow me and all this stuff. Like I'm so curious, like the complex there. And there's like literally 30 plus examples of it. And so I think I'm going to do a series on that too. So
Yeah.
all that to say,
You
I will be
definitely
hitting
should.
you
That's
up.
crazy. You know, I've never thought about it like that ever.
Mm,
So I think
yeah.
that that's definitely needed, especially for people like us, um, to have something to truly like relate to, in a biblical sense. Um,
Yes.
yeah, I've never
Exactly.
thought about that
It's
ever.
crazy. It literally, he just hit me with it one night and I was like, oh, and like all of a sudden, I like pulled out I don't journal. I wish I did, but I'm like a voice memo girly. And so I just started like spitting out all these names. I'm like, oh my gosh, Lord, they've been here this whole time. So all this to
Yes.
say, y'all, the Bible has everything. Like if
Yeah.
you're struggling with something, it's in the Bible, period.
Yeah. That's some true guidance right there, the Bible, with anything that you're going through. Because even with like being an NBA kid, I never thought about that. But James can relate. James
James
can
relates
relate.
down. Okay.
Right?
Like Joseph being betrayed by his own brothers, Cain and
Right.
Abel. Like it's over and over and over. So we will be talking about this further, you and
Yes.
I.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to know if you have any advice for, as like to sum this all up,
Mhm.
for someone who is struggling with owning who they are, maybe almost owning like the calling that God placed on their life as well, and what you've learned and how you would encourage them.
I would say that you are here on this earth for a purpose, okay? If you did not have a purpose in your life, there would be no you.
Mm,
So, really staying true to yourself and walking in whatever purpose that may be, and really fulfilling that and truly asking God, Lord, what is your purpose in my life? You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Because obviously, like, I can like go on and do whatever I want, but that's not what God called me to do. You know what I'm saying? So really standing firm on that and continuing to ask the Lord for guidance, is my advice. And I will say, just staying true to yourself, because when you stay true to yourself, you will only attract the people who are meant to be there. Because
mm.
like if I'm acting like Jessica, then I'm gonna attract people who are meant for Jessica, not for me. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
So I think those are my main two pieces of advice.
Ah, that's good. You're not even bringing around the people that you need to be around.
Exactly.
That's a word. That's a word. You are amazing, Layla. I admire you. I think you are just a beautiful person inside and out. I'm honored that you came on to share, part of your story, and I'm just so grateful to be in your orbit. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm truly grateful and blessed that you have started this, and I think the world of you, and I think that you're just so inspiring, and so I'm so glad this has came into fruition.
Thank you, girl. I think the world of you, and I'm so excited, y'all. We might get a part two with Layla because we're gonna do an in-person meetup, and it's about to go up. I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, we will. We will. It's not.
Oh,
It's not. We might. We
yeah,
will.
no,
I'll
it's
see you there.
happening. I'll see you
It's
there. It's just a
happening,
matter of
right?
when.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Well, we appreciate you and we will see you soon. Isn't Layla just the absolute best? I am obsessed with her. Layla, thank you for coming on. It is not easy to share your heart and share the more vulnerable sides of your story. And I'm just so honored that you came on this platform to do that. I love you and I just really appreciate your honesty. Thank you to you all for watching. I hope that you learned something. And I hope that you really feel encouraged that it does not matter who you know, who you don't know, what you do, anything like that. What really matters is how you see yourself and how God sees you. And God loves you. And I really hope that if you take nothing else away from this episode, that that's what's buried deep, deep down in your mind and in your heart and in your soul. So I love you all. Thank you so, so, so much. You are more than enough. Cheers to you. Mwah. Bye, y'all.